A debate over the potential impeachment of a senator in the Student Government Association took over last week's meeting and created some unwanted attention for student leaders. Coming up, we'll have a look on the details on the controversy regarding Senator Andrew Sinclair.
Severe weather season is officially underway on the South Plains, but not everyone knows what to do when dangerous weather conditions head towards our area. MCTV's Elizabeth Herring stopped by a recent event that helped to educate the community in a fun and interactive way before the storms arrive.
China is halfway around the world from Texas Tech, but students here on campus have had the chance to experience Chinese culture all semester long. MCTV's Luke Johnson will have a look on how students recently had the chance to enjoy some Asian cuisine while learning more about Chinese commerce.
And the Texas Tech baseball team avoided the chance of stormy weather by moving up their midweek matchup to midday. Find out if the change is scheduled hurt or helped the Red Raiders' chances of victory in sports.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Thursday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Macy Ranzer.
And I'm Greene. Women's History Month officially comes to an end this weekend. Throughout the month, several groups here on campus have taken time to showcase the impact women have here at Texas Tech and around the world.
Yesterday, one of the last events of the month took place just outside the sub, giving students a chance to help support some local female entrepreneurs. On Wednesday, the Student Government Association hosted an Empower Her market event in the Sub West Plaza. Students passing through the area between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. could stop by and check out several tables featuring items for sale from women-owned businesses. Items such as jewelry, pottery, and clothing were available from purchase from fellow female students who participated in the event.
The Student Government Association was also in campus headlines last week, but for a very different reason. Last Thursday, the SGA met for their bi-weekly Senate meeting in Media and Communication Room 353. During the meeting, two students spoke during an open forum to address the hateful remarks posted online by Andrew Sinclair, a current senator representing the College of Arts and Sciences. That private Snapchat post happened 2 weeks earlier in reference to the March 7th Senate meeting when members debated on a resolution concerning suspended Professor Jero Flores. Flores' pro-Palestinian comments on his social media feeds resulted in his suspension and led to controversy concerning free speech on campus. Senator Sinclair was at the March 7th meeting and posted derogatory comments based on the resolution being discussed that night.
I received screenshots of Senator Sinclair social media posts that were posted minutes before the Senate meeting, as he said, and I quote, "About to on some Palestinian kids in Senate. I don't know what a Palestine is." And he also described what was going on in the meeting that day, and I quote, as so f***ing gay. I would like to express how offended me and fellow students are here at Texas Tech, and especially that this came from a person that was elected to represent thousands of students, right? Many of whom might be Palestinian or have friends who are Palestinian.
In response to Sinclair's post, the SGA's Rules and Administration Committee conducted a hearing with Sinclair to review his membership. Following the hearing, the committee decided that Sinclair's punishment should include censure and a public apology, resulting in a resolution to be voted on by the full Senate. Although that resolution was passed, several senators felt that the punishment was not enough and pushed for an impeachment vote to remove Sinclair from the SGA. Once the process began, Sinclair was given a chance to state why he believed that impeachment was unnecessary.
Obviously, my statements were abhorrent, they were terrible, I shouldn't have said those things, and I truly am sorry. As I've stated previously, I do have an apology prepared for the end of this meeting. However, I believe that impeachment is too far. I believe that it just doesn't make sense with this timeline. I did not win re-election. I'm not able to serve a full term in the next session. Also, I don't have plans to run for re-election as a graduate student if that's the path that I do choose. I recognize the hate that was behind my post and how it offended and hurt many parties, and I take full responsibility for that. However, I do not believe that impeachment is the right move here, and I hope the rest of the Senate recognizes it.
After 2 recesses and an executive session, the Senate finally voted whether or not to impeach Sinclair. With the vote failing, Trevor Wilkinson, a former SGA member, was present at last week's meeting and addressed the Senate during open forum. He pushed for impeachment during his statement and was disappointed in the final decision by the SGA.
I'm very upset about it because I have tried my absolute hardest to make this campus a better space for queer students especially, and it's so incredibly hard when your own, like, the organization that's supposed to help students is then in turn being used to actually harm them because they didn't want to do the right thing.
At the conclusion of last Thursday's meeting, Sinclair gave a public apology and stated that if he plans to meet with Palestinian students to directly apologize and address their concerns. Sinclair will remain as a senator for the College of Arts and Sciences through the current session. He was not re-elected for the 2024 and 2025 school year.
Weather on the South Plains can be unpredictable at any time of the year, but during the spring it can also be dangerous. The potential for lightning, hail, high winds, and even tornadoes is the highest from now until late spring. MCTV weather specialist Elizabeth Herring stopped by a recent event to find out how several local groups are doing all they can to help keep residents across the South Plains safe.
Well, today is Saturday, March 23rd, and I am standing outside at the Science Spectrum for Severe Weather Awareness Day, hosted by Texas Tech Student Chapter of Meteorological Societies. Today, students and families are welcome to come in from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. to explore all the museum has to offer in special exhibits featuring severe weather. Many groups came together to help educate the public on severe weather situations. Justin Weaver with the local National Weather Service office says the event is a fun and educational way to help families better prepare themselves in case of an emergency.
It's just kind of a time to get the community out and kind of remind them that that's, that the tornadoes and big hail and lightning and high winds and all these things that can impact our lives and our property in the springtime. That's going to be happening soon, and just kind of give ideas how to protect themselves, how to protect their property, have a plan in place, things like that.
Saturday's event featured a wide variety of activities such as science demonstrations, interactive green screens, hands-on weather experiments, and a chance to explore emergency vehicles and weather forecasting equipment.
This is probably one of the best events I know of for kids in the Hub City. I mean, every kid I've ever seen come through here has had a good time. They learn a lot in a very short amount of time, thanks to the AMS group over there from Tech and all the experiments coming over here to the green screen. It really is a good time for kids.
Adam Young, a local meteorologist, was at the event hosting a table with KCBD News Channel 11. Young says that although Severe Weather Awareness Day focuses on the potential danger that the season brings, it also alleviates fear through understanding.
Education. We really want people to know about severe weather, understand the risk of severe weather, and not in a way that is very, worrisome. It's going to scare you or anything. It's better to know about it and not be scared. That way it helps you take action when something happens.
For MCTV, I'm Elizabeth Herring.
Severe weather hasn't been much of an issue so far this spring. Cooler temperatures have prevented most storms from producing more than rain and occasional lightning.
That was the case on Tuesday when some isolated storms moved through the Lubbock area, but that could all be changing soon as the cooler weather may soon be a thing of the past. Let's take a look at the MCTV forecast. Bright blue skies and lots of sunshine have been visible throughout the day on the MCTV tower cam. So far, it's been a beautiful spring day as temperatures have reached the 70-degree mark and winds have stayed light. By this afternoon, highs should reach the mid-70s, but we shouldn't make it to 80 today. However, this weekend will include the warmest temperatures we've seen since the beginning of March. Tonight, lows across the South Plains will drop into the upper 40s and low 50s, but temperatures will climb quickly after sunrise. Highs tomorrow are expected to climb into the upper 70s across most of the area, with some places reaching the 80 degrees or above. Unfortunately, we'll also see a return of the wind, with gusts expected to climb as high as 30 miles per hour. Warm temperatures will continue into the weekend along with a mix of clouds and some wind. Saturday is currently looking like a near-perfect spring day with a gentle breeze and mostly sunny skies. Easter Sunday should also start out nice, but wind speeds will increase in the afternoon with gusts once again reaching 30 miles per hour in the late afternoon. On Monday, the Easter holiday will end with slightly cooler temperatures, but a lot more wind. Temperatures should stay in the 70s on Monday, but gusty winds will return by the afternoon. We will also most likely see a lot more dust in the air with speeds reaching 40 miles per hour around midday. Looking ahead, the first week of April appears to be starting with a roller coaster of temperatures as a cold front blows through the area on Monday night, followed by another potential warm-up by next weekend.
Texas Tech Chinese Language and Culture program has stayed very busy this semester. Not only have instructors been teaching classes, but some of them have also offered weekly extracurricular options for students wanting to learn more about life in China.
MCTV's Luke Johnson has stopped by several after-hours events this spring, and last week he made another short trip across campus to see how students are enjoying the opportunity to experience a culture from halfway around the world.
On Wednesday last week, Texas Tech students gathered in the CMLL building for the Chinese Tea House's traditional Chinese market event. The event kicked off with a PowerPoint lecture testing students' knowledge on Chinese market practices. As part of the interactive session, students were taught to order their food fully in conversational Chinese terms, immersing themselves in the language.
Well, we have here fried rice, or in Chinese is chao fan. We also had sweet and sour chicken, which is also called shuan jianji, and then dumplings, which is jianjiao. So that's what we had today. We had to interact like we were in a Chinese market, give fake cash, and it was actually pretty good.
Right here in the CMLL building, students are participating in a mock Chinese market, where mock currency can score you some real food. The mock currency added to the authenticity of the market, making a delicious way to explore the rich flavors of Chinese culture. Yesterday, students had the chance to take part in a movie night featuring a traditional Chinese film, a great way to dive into the world of Chinese cinema.
We have a movie night, karaoke, and we had the traditional Chinese painting, traditional Chinese brush writing. So next event will be the Chinese movie night. We're gonna watch the Kung Fu Hustle.
The Chinese Tea House series offers numerous opportunities for students to engage and experience Chinese culture. For more information on the Chinese Tea House and the TTU Chinese Language Program, head over to facebook.com/ttu.chinese.language. For MCTV, I'm Luke Johnson.
The Chinese Tea House is scheduled to meet 2 more times this semester. The second to last event is set for next Wednesday at 5 p.m. and the theme is Chinese Game Day. If you're interested in stopping by to enjoy friendly competition, or if you just want to learn more about the Chinese program here at Texas Tech, you can find their posts on Facebook and Instagram.
With basketball off the schedule, it's been a pretty quiet week for Texas Tech athletics. The only game on the schedule so far took place earlier this week at Rip Griffin Park. Tech baseball stepped up to the plate on Tuesday for an early afternoon matchup against Stephen F. Austin, after the game was moved to a 12-35 start due to weather concerns later in the evening. SFA headed to town having lost their last 21 games, and Tech made sure the streak would continue. 7 of Tech's 9 starters drove in at least 1 run, with juniors Owen Washburn and Gavin Cash each hitting home runs in the contest. Washburn's homer not only scored 3, it also brought the game to an early end with a 16-4 run rule. Finish in the 8th. SFA's losing streak now sits at 22, and the Red Raiders have improved their overall record to 18-7. Tech baseball packed their bags yesterday and headed to the airport in preparation for their next conference series against UCF in Orlando, Florida. This will be the first matchup with the Knights since joining the Big 12 last year. The 3-game series starts tonight and will finish up on Saturday due to the Easter holiday. First pitch for this evening is set for 6:35 p.m., followed by a 5 o'clock start tomorrow, and then a noon start for the finale on Saturday. All 3 games will be available on ESPN+.
The Texas Tech softball team is well rested after this past weekend series at Iowa State was canceled due to weather. The Red Raiders have been out of action since a sweep by Oklahoma 2 weeks ago, but they will have their chance to get back in the win column starting tonight. Tech softball will also be taking on UCF this weekend, but they'll do that here on the home diamond at Rocky Johnson Field. The Knights are in town for their first conference trip to Lubbock, and they are also looking for a victory after losing 2 straight series to Oklahoma State and Texas. The Red Raiders and Knights will take the field tonight at 6 p.m. and then continue the action tomorrow at 6 before wrapping up for the holiday after a noon start on Saturday. If you're not headed out to the Rock to cheer on the team in person, you can watch all the action on ESPN+.
The Texas Tech men's golf team was the only other group of Red Raiders in action this week. The team headed back out to the course on Monday after winning their second team championship in the previous week in Houston. Unfortunately, the Red Raiders' success didn't continue with the team, finishing in 12th place at the Valspar Collegiate Invitational in Florida. Tech competed in 3 rounds on Monday and Tuesday, but only Tyron Snyder's finished in the top 20 at the end of the tournament. Snyder's finish 1 under par, ending an 8-way tie for the 15th place. Tuesday marked Sanders' 6th top 20 finish out of 9 events this season. The Red Raiders have one more tournament on the schedule this spring before the Big 12 championship at the end of April. Tech will head west to Phoenix for the Arizona State Thunderbird Collegiate Invitational on April 12th and the 13th. The team will then head to Trinity, Texas, in hopes of securing their first conference championship starting Monday, April 22nd.
Texas Tech athletics may have had a little less on the calendar this past weekend, but one university group held a special event that brought some additional competition to campus.
MCTV's Cooper Beaumirage braved Saturday's windy conditions to check out a unique tournament that gave students a chance to show off their skills and compete in the world's most popular sport.
Here at Urbanovsky Park Soccer Fields, a mini World Cup took place this weekend as teams represented different countries from around the world competing for an ultimate prize. International students from around Texas Tech competed on Friday and Saturday in the tournament. Students from countries such as Africa, Mexico, Venezuela, Iran, and China showed off their skills on the soccer field. Rafael Alani was the captain of Team Africa and says the event was an enjoyable experience.
I mean, it's been entertaining, like different people from different continent. And I mean, we played 3 matches yesterday. It was good, and then today we had our first game. It was 6-0. So for us, we're on to the next stage, and we're going to play in Iran. It's been going great.
Team Africa had a successful first day, and Alani was hopeful that his team could make it all the way to the championship.
We're playing good. I mean, Team Mexico, we played with them yesterday. It was a tie with Team Mexico, and they are pretty good. But I think we've got our opponent.
The event was organized by International Student Life. They put together the tournament schedule and coordinated with UREC to provide referees for the games. Hamed Kamakazar was a part of Team Iran and played for the team both days.
I like it. Yesterday we played together, it was a tie, so today we had a knockout, to play again. Previous game we won China 5-0, so we're good, and I like the whole energy of the people here, the playing. I like it.
Kamakazar and Team Iran faced Alani and Team Africa in the championship. Team Iran went on to win it all and got to lift a trophy at the end. For MCTV, I'm Cooper Beaumirage.
So, Chloe, do you have any big plans for the Easter holiday?
Oh, I'm going to head back home to Dallas and spend some time with family. What about you?
That sounds nice. Well, unfortunately, I have to work, but I'll still be here in Lubbock with my roommates, so won't be too bad. Yeah. But that's all we have for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check out ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you next Thursday following the Easter holiday.